Hi everybody. I just got home from work not long ago. And I feel like I haven't updated you guys or said hello to you guys for a long time. So I came up here by the driveway by the top of the hill because Willie's barking his head off. And hopefully you won't be able to hear him very well up here. Feel like I haven't touched base. There's things I've wanted to update you on, but haven't been in the mood for a video. So this may end up more slideshow than video. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm up here by the spring bulb bed. Everything is sprouting. Crocus, the saffron crocus, the tulips, I believe, the daffodil, I believe. Maybe some of those tiny grape hyacinths, maybe. And I don't know if the blue flag iris things are sprouting yet, but there's a lot of sprouts there, so that's awesome. I'm still puttering along, still feeling like it's kind of hard to get through each day with this mysterious condition, whatever it is. I don't think I've updated you guys for a while on that, but there's really not been nothing to update. I was supposed to have a genetics appointment to discuss my abnormal gene finding, and that was supposed to be remote, but then they got me online and they said, oh, well, you're not in the state, you can't be remote. So that got rescheduled for the second time. That one's been rescheduled. I went to a neurosurgeon. One neurologist thinks most of my problems are like genetics, and the other neurologist thought they were more, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, more like mechanical, because my spine's got problems, my nerves are getting kind of squished and that kind of thing, deformities or arthritis things are growing, whatever. So I went to the neurosurgeon yesterday, and the neurosurgeon said, no, a lot of people have spines kind of in my condition. They just don't feel it apparently as much as I do or whatever, but he supports being on the path of looking at the genetic stuff. I did have a brain MRI. There's a brain in there, yay. But I have a growth. My mom always told me I was hard-headed, and she didn't mean it as a compliment, but I have like extra skull growth inside. So supposedly a lot of people can't feel that, and postmenopausal women a lot have that. So I don't know if that's causing my recent headaches or not, but that's all they found. My spine's kind of a mess, but not a big mess, just an old people mess. And that growth, that thickening of the skull on the inside is, whatever, different, but a lot of postmenopausal women get that. And the genes mystery is still whatever. So I miss a lot of work. I still feel real weak. I still fall down. Some things are slightly easier, like getting dressed. I don't know if I'm just getting used to it, but kind of, I've lost a lot of the mobility and strength. So getting dressed is easier, that kind of thing. So I'm just still puttering along. This last doctor, he was a surgeon, so he was like pretty concise and brief and not kumbaya or huggy or anything by any means. But he did say, sometimes no diagnosis is found, and it's better to just kind of address like strengthening or, that kind of thing. And so he's the second one that has really talked about a physical therapy referral. And I stopped by a local place, and it seems like an awesome place. So I'll probably sign up for physical therapy and or the gym membership, and see if I can kind of strengthen up a little bit and see if that helps. The thing is, whenever I do anything physical, then I'm down and out for a day or two. So I feel like I'm going to end up missing more work, which I don't like, I like my job. Well, I would, if I could financially do it, I'd love to be retired. But I love the kids I work with, but it's just so hard right now. And I don't want to miss more work. And man, really cuts into the paycheck. So that's that. While I was in Winchester yesterday for the neurosurgeon appointment, I finished that and I went to Hobby Lobby because I wanted some more yarn. Some of you know that I'm doing some crochet projects for donation for the local nursing home. So I wanted to pick some, I'm trying to do some little tiny stuffed animals and little tiny fidgets. And I really like the cotton yarn at Hobby Lobby. It's like, I love this yarn, but it's cotton, but it's so soft. It's not as, some cotton thin strings, not DK weight. Yeah, DK weight, or is it smaller? Some of them are kind of stiff and not very soft, but this from Hobby Lobby is super soft. So I stopped to get that, and I needed a small crochet hook because I'm also making some fidgets with pony beads. I just realized I should make more spaces so I can insert pictures so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I did that, and there was a huge sale on the garden spinny kind of decor, and so I splurged and I picked up several yarn decoration things. Up here, the more I use things that flap in the wind or things that spin in the wind, the more the deer leave my plants and shrubs and stuff alone. So that's my primary way to try to keep my plants safer, although it doesn't seem to do anything for rabbits. Speaking of rabbits, I have had things getting on the porch, on the deck, and the dogs bark after dark. And then one night I looked out and there was this big, huge possum on my deck. Ugh, I hate possums almost as much as I hate snakes. However, there's a group of people that say possums eat a bunch of ticks. Possums aren't dangerous. Possums won't mess with your chickens, blah, blah, blah. And so I've been trying to not worry about the possum, although I still had a tick crawling on me. It's been horrible cold off and on. We get a real warm day and then a freezing day again with freezing rain. But even so, one afternoon, one weekend, last week before, 2 weeks ago, I guess, I felt good briefly, and I came outside and I just weeded one raised bed, one small horse trough that I'm using as a raised bed, and still went inside and found a tick crawling on me. So I don't know if it's true that possums eat ticks, but I put my camera, one of my game cameras, my old ones, out here facing this part of the driveway, and I've been trying to throw corn down here or little handfuls of cat food because my cat passed away, so I have cat food left around. And I thought, if possums are opportunistic eaters, maybe they'll leave my chickens alone because I dug most of the sides of the run underground. So maybe if it's not easy to get my chickens and it's eating other food that's not my trash, maybe it'll be okay. And I had a video where it looked like a big old fat raccoon and a big old possum were fighting over the food. So, because I think raccoons go after your chickens too, right? So I'm trying to decide what to do about the possum situation. It's pretty wild up here. I'm on top of a ridge, and it's a lot of wooded land and a lot of unpopulated by humans land. So I kind of hope the possum just goes away. The neighbors' wild cats have been over here eating the food too a little bit, which I'm fine with that because I have a lot of mice here. So hopefully the wild cats will eat the mice. So yeah, what else was I gonna tell you? So let's not argue about it in the comments because everybody has a different opinion, and I see people go ballistic on the um, possum, raccoon, and snake issues. But gently, kindly, let me know your opinion about possums and raccoons, because I have two big, huge ones up here. And as far as I know, they're hanging around at the living room end of my house, and my chicken coop is at the bedroom end of my house. And I don't see any signs of digging to get under the coop. Not that they could get into it. 3 of the 4 sides of my coop and run are the mesh I used is folded and it's dug underground. So I did that for coyote protection, but it seems like it was probably a good thing because of the possums and the raccoon. Sorry I haven't been keeping up on you guys' videos. I've been missing all kinds of videos. I don't know. I just don't get things done, and so then I don't sit and watch videos. Sometimes I play them on the TV while I'm puttering around the house, but then I forget to comment. So there's that. I don't know if you can hear that. A couple weeks ago, I ordered something I've been wanting for a huge long time, and that is a Woodstock bell. It's a chime, but it's only one tube, and it's just got the one thing in the tube, it like the chime whatever that hits it. So I can't have regular chimes up here because they get tangled because the wind is so strong, like so often. And I've wanted these Woodstock chimes for a huge long time because they kind of remind me of what bells around marinas on sailboats. I don't know if they were on the sailboats, but I remember when I lived down in Baltimore County, I would sit at the marinas and I would hear this like clanging. So I don't know if it was the sailboat ropes with metal on it hitting on something, or if it was chimes, or if it was some kind of bell of some kind. But I've always wanted one. Well, then I saw them really cheap recently on Amazon, and so I got one. I'm excited. So I'll go down and take a picture, include at least a picture video of the little garden doodads I bought, and then that chime. Oh, I brought it outside with me too, and I forgot it's down there closer to the house. I forgot to bring it when I moved away from Willie. I bought some planter baskets like what you use in hydroponic gardens. And I bought them with the intention of using it kind of like a Kratky growing method. I saw on Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Hi, Mike. You give me so much inspiration. Where he uses plastic bottles and then he puts in the basket and then he has plants growing in there. And I felt like what I saw was the little round things you buy for Kratky growing method. And so I haven't ordered those yet, and I didn't know if I would or not because I have some of the pod growing mossy sponge things. I bought some and the refill was a whole bunch, and so I thought if I put one of those in this basket and then line it with something like rocks or gravel from I have big gravel up here in my shale yard. And I thought, well, I can plant a seed in that, and if it grows, like, I don't know if I necessarily need the Kratky round. Some of them are clay and some of them are something else. I don't know if you have to have that kind of thing. So I saved one of my powder creamer bottles, and I got the basket, a larger basket that fits in there. So I'm going to give that a try. If I do that, I need to do an update for my indoor WIG gardening for my survival seeds 2026 gardening and my micro dwarf gardening. Yes, I've already killed some plants, but other things I've got in there growing. My little tomatoes, I've got little green tomatoes inside. So I need to do an update on that, but it'll be separate from this rambling mess. It'll be more focused just on the plants. So those are my purchases over the last few weeks. Nothing else is really new. I really want to get out here and do more of getting this vegetable garden ready. And then last year I never finished putting in the little steel sheets along the fence that's supposed to keep the gravel from rolling down the hill. I never finished that. So I need to try to find the energy and whatever to work on that, putter along at that. But yeah, that's my update. I don't know what else to say. I hope you guys are doing good. Oh, one more thing. I did when I went to the grocery store. Oh, two more things. Like a week ago, I went to the grocery store and they had these trees there. You know how every spring all the Walmarts and Tractor Supplies and all those stores get in all these trees that you can purchase and plant. And I always, every year I look at them. I want plums, I want a sugar maple, I want pine trees, I want oak trees, all that stuff. And but I feel like they're so pricey. I should have bought more when I first bought this land, but I procrastinated, and now look, they're very expensive. But at the grocery store, this company I hadn't heard of, I don't know if they're local or what, but they delivered a whole bunch of trees, and they're not in planters, they're in bags, and they're like burlaps and then wrapped by plastic. And they were about 5 foot tall. I'm 5'4". They were about 5 foot tall, and then some of the trees, like the crepe myrtles, were even taller, and they were inexpensive compared to everywhere else. So I bought 2 plum varieties. So you have to buy certain varieties so that they pollinate each other. And no, can't remember the names. I think it was Japanese cultivars. I am so excited. Did I say plums? I hope I said plums. Who knows what I said? So I have those up under the roof on my deck, so that as soon as we had unfrozen ground and then we got freezing temperatures again. So I have those to put out. I'm so excited because in addition to the pawpaw trees, I've always wanted plums. I wouldn't mind if I could figure out apples, but apples up here tend to get cedar rust, I think it is. From the cedar trees, the leaves get all yucky and stuff, so you really have to spray the apples. I don't know if you have to spray plums or not, but I don't know that I'm so interested in spraying apples. And I want, what are the orange things? Persimmons. So I was so excited to find 2 plum trees of the correct variety for the eating plums, because the local stores always have damson plums, and that's a variety that a lot of people use more for cooking, I guess, and that's what the tag says, jelly and cooking and stuff. And I wasn't quite sure, I didn't know if I wanted those. I wanted like eating plums, and so I am super excited about getting the plum trees. Okay, I hope there's still time on this. I really can't see with the sun, between the sun and my sunglasses. I don't know. I can't see the screen. I can see a big blob that I assume is me, but it shows the time up there. So I hope it's still running and not shut off. But I'm going to go take a few pictures or a few very tiny clips of my garden doodads and the wind chime and maybe the tags of the plums, especially that way in case the wind blows the tags away. I'll still know what variety I have. But I've missed you. I miss chatting with you guys. I haven't been going to a lot of the live chats as much because I just feel grouchy and I don't feel like I have a lot to say, and I don't want to be negative Nelly. Ooh, that thing's got spines. So yeah, I haven't been going to as many chats, or maybe I have it playing on the TV, but I'm just like puttering around the house and not really typing. So, but I miss you guys, and so I wanted to say hi. Warren, I think, is coming up this weekend, and I hope it's warm enough. I keep forgetting about the cafe. I'm hoping it's warm enough to go do a POTA with the ham radio. I love those POTA things so much. And then I think the last, and then I'll quit rambling, is Wild Roots Cafe in Romney reopened. I am so excited. I'm blowing up my Instagram with pictures of the meals I'm eating there. I loved going to Wild Roots Cafe. Some of you guys know that. The pastries, I loved the pastries. I gave away a couple bags of the coffee beans because they have coffee. They collaborate with someone to offer coffee, and I just love Josh and Aaron. They are super amazing people. They are so successful and yet so down to earth. It's astounding to me. And I don't like socializing in real life with anybody. I'm such a goober. I'm such an introvert. But they're so nice to talk to, and so it's so wonderful. So I have been there 3 days in a row, I think. I had their Reuben. I've never had a Reuben before. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I've had their burger, and I've had their fish and chips. So delicious. My excuse today was because I haven't bought groceries or done dishes. I'm going to have to get back to work like full time so that I can afford to eat at Wild Roots Cafe every single day. And if I could figure out how to do breakfast and dinner, I would. But yeah, I'll try to remember to put their link in my description box below, in case you're ever in the area and want to do Wild Roots Cafe. Their hours are longer now. So when they were open a first time, and then they had some issues, so they closed for some months, and now they're open again. So the first time they were open, when I would go to work, I left too early in the morning and I would come home too late at night. So I could only see them on weekends. And then if I was doing all my errands, then I still missed them on weekends sometimes. So I'm super excited that they have longer hours. Sorry this is so rambly, but welcome to my life right now. I'm trying not to let it get me down. I'm trying to just still putter along and enjoy things like the sunrises and my chickens and crocheting, and it just takes me way longer to do anything. So, hope you're doing well. Look at that. That's so close to blooming. So here's a little bed we planted. Daylilies are on this end, although I don't know, that looks pretty chunky for a daylily. Maybe that's a tulip. Oh, there's more. Yep, some of them getting ready to bloom. The blue iris, that must be what these tall thin things are. Saffron crocus are up here, but I think I also found some old bulbs that I hadn't gotten planted of the little tiny blue grape hyacinth. See, to me this looks more like that crocusy thing. And then I wonder if these are those little grape hyacinths, but I don't know. We'll see when they bloom. So that's doing well. So this is what I was talking about. Mike's Chaotic Gardening grows plants in here, and I thought it's a great idea, because if I weight the bottom with one rock and then I grow a plant in here, if the plant grows taller, like say a pepper plant, maybe it won't tip over and it'll just be one plant by itself instead of some smushing each other in the hydroponics garden. So these are some of the doodads I bought. My sons like the colors orange and purple and pink. So I got this little guy. I got this little guy. I got this. This cracks me up. So the bigger ones will go up there by the daffodils or by the other vegetable garden we're getting ready to put in. And then I got this, it spins. I got it leaning against the fence right now. And then I got this that spins. So these bigger ones will go up there where I want some deer deterrents. I've already got one up there too. I've got a flag and a spinny thing. And then these will either go in the green stalk or out here in this garden. This garden's a mess. So this is the one that I weeded the garden. Look at that. Not much, right? And that's left over the peas that I pulled the vines off the trellis, and that's just the leftover from that. So I dug it up and I put firewood stumps in there, pieces of firewood, and then buried it back up for like the hugelkultur moisture. One year, this is the year that the tank had worms in it. When I dug it up, it was so happy. The dirt was so happy, and there were worms. So that was awesome. So I'm going to fill it with a new bag of gardening soil. So that's that. This is my mess. This is what I was talking about. I'm putting this in to help keep the rocks from going down the hill. And I didn't get very far. I only got 3 of them mostly in. And then I got this spiny, horrible spiny thing is growing. Terrible. And then the meadow will continue over there because this is starting to slide down the hill, settle a little bit. This is how much work I have to do out here. Oh my gosh. But then this bell. That bell I've had for a year or two, and I love hearing it when the wind is blowing hard. I love that bell also, but that's a cheaper version. This one by Woodstock, that one was a Hobby Lobby one. This is Woodstock, and I can't wait to hear that in the wind. Okay, so what a mess out here. I shouldn't be showing all this mess. There's the other one. That's the little one. I love the sound of bells like that. I don't know if I'll keep them both out here or if I'll move one somewhere else. So what a mess out here. I should be embarrassed to show you the mess. I do not have a beautiful Instagram or YouTube page. It is not beautiful. This is the mess. But this hopefully is a successful garden this year. And I'm going to try to be a little more focused out here. But last year I let everything die. Just everything. Except one onion that ended up in the house. So this year I hope to keep up a little better. But I'm going to focus on maybe only in here and not push myself to expand too much. But I guess, I gotta go take pictures of the plum tags, and then I think I'm done. I love these things. I want to get one of those real huge, fancy ones. Love them. This one is a Santa Rosa. Oops. Oh, holy cow. The print's way too small for me to try to read. But it listed the variety, one of these, Plum Burbank is the variety that it'll, oops, tags are all, Plum Burbank. So if you have any suggestions on how to do okay with plums, I would love to have your suggestions. I love plums so much, and I feel like I can't get a good one in the grocery store. They're just all kind of yucky. So hopefully this is an addition to my fruit garden, and I'll see ya.